and then we're looking here. Hi, beloved friends. If the camera moves, it's because the cat is nudging my elbow. Welcome to another video snippet. And Pete and I, we're on the block. I don't know if you saw our video last year where I was waiting for him all seductively. And he turned up 3 hours later with cow pat all over him. 3 in the morning. Anyway, we're back on the block.
And we've just been making love on it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Out in the spring sunshine in the middle of a forest, there's this big block, which is moss covered. We actually slept on it the one night. Awesome. But changing the environment of making love so it isn't always the same old. It's definitely something that supports us.
Yeah.
How about you?
And we have a confession to make, beloved friends. This is a confession on behalf of womankind and a confession on behalf of mankind. For a while, Pete and I have been a little bit up against a sexual and intimate wall where I'd sort of cooled off a little bit because I just sensed things weren't going deeper. And what do I mean by deeper? More heart. It's that simple. It's not about into the body deeper because that's secondary. Primary is more heart. For me, for my type, more heart, more love equals deeper archaeology of female body. So I'd kind of like cooled off a little bit and definitely wasn't being sensual or seductive. And I often say, anyone who's still with me throughout winter, they're worth keeping. Because I really do hibernate. I don't care less what I'm wearing. And I just look like a bear. And then suddenly the sun's here and I start remembering, oh, I'm female. I can wear pretty clothes again. So poor old Pete, he hasn't had much inspiration these last months. However, that's my part of the story.
But I don't know if it's poor old Pete. I think Pete's a kind of an example, a typical example of what happens with many men. Because for me, what I was wanting was more sex. And I was wanting depth. And I was simply wanting more sex, counting the number of days since last time. And if it gets over sort of 3 or 4 or something like that and start to get nervous and like, what's wrong with us kind of thing. And I think most of us guys get stuck in that to some extent, and we can't think our way out of it. It's such a spectre, such a ghost that haunts, subconscious.
Yeah. And I could feel his tension, and I could see he wasn't sleeping, and that was backing me into a corner because I knew what to do, but I didn't feel inspired because I didn't feel the love element, which is so typical of the masculine and feminine. Anyway, the other night we were thrashing it around with words. And we love each other so much and we're the bestest of friends, and we just literally drew question marks. We just didn't know what to do. Technique isn't going to do this.
Absolutely.
And so in my frustration, I was saying, listen, Pete, you got to realize... Oh no, I'm getting a bit lost.
Oh, that's all right.
Okay, so Pete hit a place where he simply didn't feel inspired anymore to go there. It was an apathy. You mentioned you felt an apathy. So in came my divine masculine that said, you gotta beat this apathy, you gotta get beyond it because this is your Shakti, this is your life force, your whole world depends on being able to penetrate beyond this point. And I said, come on, I'm open, I'm willing, I'm available, I'm not going to say no. Which left Pete
with no choice, it sounded like, because I hit a place where I've hit many times in every relationship, which is a kind of place where I don't I haven't been taking initiative. I haven't started the ball rolling, as it were. It's, and in the first while in a new relationship, it's often very easy. It just takes a drop of a hat and you're both at it, kind of thing. But after a while, the woman stops taking the initiative in my relationships, and then so the whole thing sort of stalls. And then, of course, we start doing all kinds of reading tantra books and watching videos and trying, not porn, but, trying to get some kind of new angle on the whole thing. But it still comes down to, in the end, no matter what techniques we understand, is the masculine taking the initiative. And in my case, maybe even facing the fear of a no, which for someone like me could be crushing on a personal level, kind of thing. So there's a lot of things going on here in the background.
Yeah. And so then when I sort of said, come on, let's do this, very unattractive, I imagine. And so it all just kind of went pitted out into nothing. And so we were just sat there in bed, like looking at each other going,
Now what?
what? And then reanimation.
Yeah.
Completely out of nowhere. It was one of those moments when we were just going to switch the lights off. Okay, well, good night then. And then wham! Out it came.
Literally.
And
yeah, I mean, it's very, very interesting, the whole thing, because when you get into the bedroom, you haven't been making love for a while. Every time you get into the bedroom together, there's for me anyway, some kind of expectation that starts, a performance that's expected of some kind or other, and that is absolutely, for me, my type, a kind of massive turn off. But then we'd had this conversation, we'd had it out, and the then what thing happened, and then we were kind of basically going to go to sleep. But at that point, going to sleep point, it was like the pressure was off. There weren't any expectations. And I got to say, Anaya's ability to listen to me, hear what I was saying about what's going on in me, but not take it personally, meant that she could listen, but not take it as being absolute truth. So the whole thing changed, literally like clicking fingers. And that initiatory spark, it was just there, gone.
Yeah. And again, there was like a little simultaneous opening. I opened, and within a nanosecond of opening, I could absolutely see Pete's love pouring out of his eyes, which just opened me further, and so much love going back towards him, so much trust, so much joy and celebration. And I remember uttering the words, "This is it! This is it!" So basically, our message is, for all of you couples out there who might be having a similar situation, hang in there. You simply don't know. You don't know when your breakthrough is. Ours was within a few breaths of almost falling asleep on each other sexually. Yeah, it's grace. This is not about technique.
Absolutely not. That we guys tend to try and fix things. When there's something going wrong sexually, we do tantric courses in the hope of learning some new technique. But it's not technique that Anaya was missing. It was content. The where was I in this picture? The heart of the matter, as it were. And I got to say also, my thing is, if there's something not quite right sexually, that is not the problem. There is a deeper issue at stake, but that the sexuality aberrance, that's pointing to that there's something that needs looking at. So talking to each other, trying to figure out what it is, bringing love to each other, and understanding, compassion, and then something will show itself. And those of you who believe in prayer, that's been our biggest support. Last thing, I don't know what to do with this beloved Father, Mother, God, Goddess. I don't know what to do with this tail end. But then, this too was a gift to us. Not give up, keep looking deep, but not with the mind, open the heart deeper, past everything, every relationship I've ever known. And this place is far more beautiful than all of those put together. And I mean also this block out in the forest with a cat who wants to go home.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for listening, beloved friends.
Yeah.
We hope this gives you some encouragement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on in there. Really don't give up on each other,
Yeah.
because at that point you're actually giving up on yourselves.
Yeah.
See ya.
See you.